What is up, my 23 subscribers? Welcome back to my channel. Look, it's Ike. Once again, my name is Isaac, and yeah, it's been a cool minute since I've done a video. So what we're going to talk about today on this first episode of Main Flick is my 2023 most anticipated films. I'm just going to do a countdown of the top 25 films that I'm anticipating for this year. Now, the ones that I have at the bottom, that doesn't mean that I think that these movies are going to suck or they're not going to be as good. No, I'm excited for them. It's just I'm more excited for the ones that I have way above the ones I have at the bottom. And along the way, I'm going to throw in a little maybe list. I have about like 6 or 7 films in there that are not entirely on the anticipated list, but it's a possibility I could be excited for them throughout this year. So as I'm counting down, I'm not going to take very long on every single title. I mean, I may have a comment or two to say, but I'll try to keep it, as quick as possible. All right, so here we go. Starting at 25, I have The Flash. Now, there's been a lot going on in regards to, the DCEU, the whole Ezra Miller scandal. Not to mention, The Rock trying to be the new Kevin Feige with Black Adam, and then it backfired on him. And then you got Warner Brothers hiring James Gunn and Peter Safran. It's just crazy. And mainly that's the reason why I have it at the very bottom. I was excited for it at first, but then it kind of just lowered after that. Number 24 would be Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Now, same thing in regards to what I just mentioned about The Flash. There's a huge chance that, Jason Momoa is not coming back as Aquaman. And I heard that they were going to cut the post-credit scenes off of it. So, I mean, yeah, this is pretty much going to be the end of the DCEU. Now, there are 2 more DCEU movies releasing this year that I actually do have way above it. But I'll get to those reasons when we come to that point. Number 23, I have Disney and Pixar's Elemental. Now, ever since Avatar: The Last Airbender, I've always had a huge fascination in regards to the 4 elements. So the fact that they made it a movie where it shows modern society built around those 4 elements, I thought was pretty clever, and I'm actually pretty intrigued to see it. Number 22 would be The Marvels. Now, we also got a few other Marvel movies releasing this year, which I'm pretty excited about. I am a huge fan of Captain Marvel. I thought it was a pretty fun movie. I'll be honest, I haven't really seen Miss Marvel yet. I might have to watch it before that movie comes out. And I did actually like Monica Rambeau's performance in WandaVision. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll see how that one goes. Number 21 would be Dune Part 2. Now, I'm a huge sucker for the original one back in the 80s. Yes, it's super cheesy, but hey, I'm a big cheese fan. And I actually did enjoy Dune Part 1. I loved Timothée Chalamet's performance. I love Zendaya. The cast was great. So I'm really looking forward to see what they're going to do in this one. Number 20 would be The Haunted Mansion, the new one. Now, I grew up with the original Haunted Mansion movie with Eddie Murphy. I was a huge fan of it as a kid. As I got older, the movie didn't really age all that well. But I wonder how they're going to do with this new movie. I hope, they go a little bit more scarier and less silly. But we'll see what happens. Number 19 would be Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Now, some of you are probably wondering, well, why do you have this one so low? Well, I'm going to be quite honest. I like the Mission Impossible series, just I'm not a huge fan of it. My fiance is like, oh my God, about Mission Impossible. So I know for sure we're going to be watching that one. But yeah, number 18 would be Wonka, starring Timothée Chalamet. Now, this is supposed to be a prequel to, I don't know if it's for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but I actually am a big fan of the book. I read it when I was a kid. I love Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I also love Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's kind of funny though, because I mean they kind of did do somewhat of a prequel of Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but what are you gonna do? Number 17, I have Evil Dead Rise. Now, I love the original Evil Dead. I love Evil Dead 2. I also love Army of Darkness. The Fede Alvarez remake was alright. It was not a bad movie. It wasn't great, but I mean it has its good moments. But I also did love Ash vs. Evil Dead, and to this day I'm still pissed off that they ended it after 3 seasons. I mean, that was such a great show, but I get it. You know, Bruce Campbell doesn't want to, play Ash for the rest of his life. So, yeah. Number 16 would be The Exorcist. Now, this is supposed to be a direct sequel to the 1973 original version, and it's going to be directed by David Gordon Green and written by him and Danny McBride, who also did the recent Halloween trilogy, which kind of makes me a little skeptical, but I mean, I don't want to, judge right away. Maybe it'll be good. Who knows? But I don't know. Just after Kills and Ends, I don't know. I'm just going to keep my expectations at a neutral level. Number 15 would be The Blue Beetle. Now, this is another DCEU movie. I'm actually super excited for this one because this is going to be the first live action interpretation of a Hispanic superhero in theaters. So I'm stoked about that. But I'm also bummed that it's a possibility we may not see this character after this movie. Who knows? Maybe we will. Maybe they won't add any DCEU related content in this movie, that maybe at some point they could try to use that to bring Blue Beetle into the new DC universe. So who knows? Maybe James Gunn could work that magic. Number 14 would be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Now, this is going to be the second go in regards to the animated version of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I mean, we got TMNT back in 2007, but I'm actually super stoked for this one because not only am I a huge Ninja Turtle fan, but it's also going to be produced by Seth Rogen and his production company, Point Grey. So I'm actually really excited and intrigued of where, they're going to take that. Number 13 would be Oppenheimer. I'm actually really excited. I actually do love Christopher Nolan's films, and I also love Cillian Murphy. And yeah, after seeing the trailer, I'm actually pretty stoked, but I feel like that movie's going to have some competition just in regards to opening the same day as this other movie that I have way up in the top. But yeah, we'll get to that later. Number 12 would be Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel. Ghostbusters is one of my all-time favorite movies. Second one is kind of meh, but wasn't really a fan of the 2016 version. My fiance loved that one. But I did love Ghostbusters Afterlife. They really paid, true homage to the original Ghostbusters, which was great. Made me emotional too. So I'm actually excited to see where this next chapter is going to be headed. Number 11 would be Transformers Rise of the Beast. Now, it's been quite a journey for this film franchise. It's had its ups and downs. I loved the first one. Second one was meh. Third one was decent. Extinction and The Last Night were, wasn't a fan of them. But then you got Bumblebee, and I actually loved that movie, because they not only make it a period piece, but they also do a soft reboot for this franchise. And after seeing the trailer for Rise of the Beast, I'm actually pretty excited for it. It's going to take place 7 years after Bumblebee, so it's going to take place in 1994. So I'm actually pretty stoked to see how they're going to do this in the 90s. All right. So really quick, before I get to the top 10, I just want to do a list of some of the maybes I have here. So it would be Cocaine Bear, Fast X, the live action interpretation of The Little Mermaid. You got Megan, Knock at the Cabin, House Party, and the new Martin Scorsese movie. I forgot to write it down, but it's the one starring Leonardo DiCaprio. But yeah, why I have those at maybes is because I'm not. There's so many films dropping this year, but I don't know. Just with these that I just mentioned, the maybes. I don't know. Maybe I'll get excited for them. Maybe I won't be as excited. But I just had to throw them in there just so they wouldn't feel left out. All right. So now we come to the top 10 most anticipated films of 2023. Number 10, I have John Wick Chapter 4. Now, I'm going to be honest, when the first John Wick movie came out, I honestly thought it was going to be another one of those unnecessary action movies, the ones that Jason Statham always comes out with. But then as time went on, everybody was just like, dude, have you seen John Wick? Have you seen John Wick? And I'm like, no, I haven't seen it. And they're like, dude, you're missing out. Give it a watch. And so I did. And I'm just like, damn, you know what? Like, I owe this movie an apology. So, yeah, I ended up loving the first John Wick. I liked John Wick Chapter 2. That one was really good. And even John Wick Chapter 3, Parabolum. I mean, even though that movie doesn't have much of a storyline, it was still a pretty damn good movie. So I'm actually excited to see, where they're going to take Keanu Reeves' character in this movie. So hopefully this is going to be one of those never-ending franchises. Kind of maybe, who knows, this could be like our version of James Bond, but more a deadlier version. All right, number 9, I have Creed 3. Now, I'm a huge sucker for the Rocky series. I did love the first Creed. Second Creed was good, not as good as the first one. I honestly thought that this new Creed movie was going to feature Clubber Lang's son, but they decided to go a different direction and make it an old friend of Michael B. Jordan's character, Donnie. So yeah, and it's funny because it's going to be played by Kang the Conqueror, so we'll see what happens there. Number 8, I have Barbie. Now, I did not think I was going to be as excited for this movie as I was, but after seeing that trailer, yeah, it sold me. It is coming out the same day as Oppenheimer, so yeah, I might be doing a double feature that day. Might even be wearing pink. Who knows? Number 7, I have Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Now, I've been waiting a cool minute for this new movie to drop, because there have been rumors all throughout the years. Oh, yeah, Indiana Jones is happening. Oh, it's probably not going to happen. Oh, we don't know about Harrison Ford. He's back and forth on coming back. But after, the official, confirmation rumors came out about this movie, I got excited. And then when they dropped the poster, I was like, oh, dang, it's getting real. It's happening. And then they dropped the trailer, and then they dropped the title. And I'll be honest, I wasn't sold on the title at first, but I think it's slowly starting to grow on me. I'm also bummed that it's not going to be directed by Steven Spielberg. He's just going to serve as an executive producer. But I do like James Mangold as a director. I was a huge fan of Logan, so I trust him in this new final chapter of Indiana Jones. Number 6, I have Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Now, yes, this one is super high, and the reason for that is because I fell in love with the first Shazam movie. That was honestly my favorite movie out of the DCEU. I'm honestly hoping that they don't recast Zachary Levi. I hope they keep him as Shazam. But, I mean, I gotta, lower my expectations, because there is a possibility they could recast him, because, look, they already dropped Henry Cavill. They're most likely going to drop Ezra Miller, which I don't see why they haven't done that already. Most likely they're not going to have Jason Momoa as Aquaman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and, of course, Ben Affleck is not going to come back as Batman. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Number 5 would be Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now, this is going to be the opening movie for Phase 5. Most of us were not a huge fan of Phase 4, so, I mean, hopefully this will be the movie that gets the pot, stirring. I did like what I saw in the trailer. I'm actually pretty excited about Kang the Conqueror. So hopefully, hopefully this movie will be a banger opening up Phase 5. Number 4, I have Scream 6. Now, I was very skeptical on it taking place in New York, but from what I saw in the teaser trailer, I think this could work. Hopefully it doesn't turn into another Jason Takes Manhattan, but yeah, we'll see. And I just saw the recent poster, how they made it look like the subway map, but they designed it to look like Ghostface's mask. I thought that was pretty dope. Number 3 would be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So this is supposedly going to be the final Guardians movie and also James Gunn's last run at a Marvel movie before he puts all his time and effort into DC Studios. Oh, man, I don't know what to expect in this one. A lot of people are saying that Rocket is going to die. I hope he doesn't, because Rocket is one of my favorite Guardians. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to bring a box of tissue on that one. Number 2, surprisingly, I didn't put this one at number 1, but I think my number 1 pick has sold me enough to solidify that position. But yeah, number 2, I have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Loved Into the Spider-Verse. Love this new trailer that they're going into a world where there's all kinds of different Spideys. I can't wait. I honestly cannot wait. And finally, we get to the number 1 spot, and that is the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I was sold on this movie the moment the second trailer dropped. After showing that Mario Kart scene, I was like, that's it. Done deal. Number 1 spot, most anticipated movie of the year. Probably one of the best movies of the year, I'm predicting. But yeah, I mean, what is there not to love about this movie besides Chris Pratt's voice, which I know everybody is still, picking on that. But after the second trailer dropped, I honestly ignored it. Just so much was going on that I didn't even pay attention to Chris Pratt's voice. But I mean, the cast, I think, are perfect for each character. The only one I haven't heard yet was Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong voice, which I was hoping to hear in this new trailer, but we're gonna hear it eventually. So yeah, that is my most anticipated list of 2023. Now remember, this is not me speaking for everybody. This is just my list and what I'm most excited for. I know a lot of us have these movies on the list, but some of us have, a different movie at the number 1 spot. So overall, guys, yeah, I'm super excited. I cannot wait for every single movie to drop this year. It's going to be fun, stacked. I can't wait to see them and also review it with you all. And other than that, I hope everybody has a happy, healthy, successful new year. And let's get it going. Until next time.